Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
I'm from Flint, F-L-I-N-T. Fight like it's no tomorrow, motherfucker.
Yeah. Thinking to myself like, what the fuck is going on? Asking God for help like, what the fuck I'm doing wrong? He ain't giving me no answers, I figured it out myself. Got tired of asking questions, I'm tired of looking for help. Man, I can't win for losing, I'm steady taking these losses. Had to bury greed and chinks, same week, 2 different coffins. Man, that shit'll traumatize you when it ain't trying to. Everybody shedding tears, you trying not to cry too. They say they feel my pain, but they don't know how much I'm hurting. Mama told me pray, it usually help, but it ain't working. Just to numb this pain, I'm popping Perkins.
Benefits, you bitch, you got more benefits than a goddamn clinic. What you doing? Bitches be on Section 8, low income, and welfare. Talk about I'm out here doing it by myself. Bitch, no you ain't. Everybody helping you. The benefits, you bitch, you got more benefits than a goddamn clinic. What you doing?
Yo, it's your boy Jon Snow, man. It's from After Dark, man. Got my man on here. Introduce yourself, brother.
My name is Erica Cobb. I'm 35 from Flint, Michigan. We're out here at the Sit Downers Memorial Park here in Genesee County. I'm voting because of the economy and the border. We need the votes. Everybody needs to get out there and vote for your country, for America. November 5th. Do not forget to vote.
That out there now, you know what I'm saying? But look, man, for real, C would be voting for Trump. For real. Yeah, real gang. I don't know what's wrong with these gangsters from Flint that's all trying to tuck their tail all of a sudden and don't want to support the mob for real, for real. Don't want to support real people or real men. Don't want to support, you know what I'm saying, Trump, who they know is being politically persecuted, who they know the feds that came after for political purposes, who they know, you know what I'm saying, then had his business set up and sabotaged and everything else. People that lied on this man and tried to Me Too him, and y'all gonna sit back and just let this happen? And look, what they're doing to him is what they used to do to us, to stop us from voting, to prevent us from voting, to scare us, use the political system against us. That's what mass incarceration is all about. You know how many people did that? And Kamala Harris was a part of that. And
Ray, you gone crazy.
You are now tapped in with the most realist and controversial show on the net. Flint After Dark Podcast. We speak for the streets. We speak for the streets.
Yeah. Ray, you gone crazy.
You are now tapped in with the most realist and controversial show on the net. Flint After Dark Podcast. We speak for the streets. We speak for the streets.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, you went off for a minute. Go ahead and introduce yourself, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. This Darwin Giles, CEO, Urban Zion University, Zion U,
former ethnic vice chair of the Michigan Republican Party, touching down, but a real Flintstone, bro. Go way, way back. History is there, and we finna show the receipts for Jacob Fella and everybody else that want to speak on politics, even though they ain't even really educated and informed. And, you know, we going to touch on some things from Jacob Fella to Cliff Mack to government informants and everything else, bro.
Let's go, man. I mean, what's on the floor first?
Let's get it. I mean, at the end of the day, bro, I'm ready. And, you know, this is just how God works. You know, I was backdoored by a nigga. You know, I felt like, you know, we got it out the mud together, you know, out of the mud ink, and you know, suggested an idea to confront Jacob Fella with the news media interview he did on 810 Media Group. And long story short, they got back with me and tried to censor me. You know what I'm saying? Basically saying, you know, this is a situation. I've known James going all the way back from Dual Writer, came up with some of my people. We don't have no street history together, but I admired the young man because, you know, he the only one really like me that came from the street and was, you know, transitioning to academia, that type of thing. So I was just being a real ninja and supporting them, you know what I'm saying? Just being a real down day one dude, and, you know, no haterism, no jealousy, just trying to support my dude. You know, he's somebody that is set on my card and, you know what I'm saying, came down to you know, political conventions and Novi with me at the suburban center. So, you know what I'm saying, I kind of dropped the ear intentionally. I dropped a little bug in his ear and was letting him know what was going on, even though he had been trying to interview me without the mud before it even started. You know what I'm saying? And I had really been prolonging it, pushing it off because, you know, it's about timing. And I had some things with Charleston White, some other things that I was going to share with him exclusively. And when a whole controversy with Jake the Flake came up with Jacob Fella, I was like, okay, maybe it's that time. Let's set up the interview. So when I did, reached out to him and let him know, we discussed, just because that was my, you know, supposedly my guy, you know what I'm saying, I'm rocking with to a certain degree. And he took it upon himself, once I shared with him the conflict of what was going on with Jacob Fella, to, you know, go behind my back and set up an interview with Jacob Fella. They ain't tell me about the interview or nothing, because I would have more than likely, you know, went on to expose what I'm going to expose here, which is the feds is on Jacob Fella. All right, the feds is on Jacob Fella, got the receipts for it. Everybody know Cliff Mack was his right-hand man, his little homie in Flint that he gassed up, oversauced, boosted up, you know what I'm saying? And basically, you know, got the whole, you know, the whole war in Flint with Cliff Mack and surrounding Cliff Mack could have been deaded by Jacob Fella. But instead of him doing the right thing, he chose to just exploit that young man and take advantage of him versus, you know what I'm saying, really lay down law and teach him how to do stuff the right way. So he ain't ever been an OG to me in the sense of, you know, Jacob Fella. I like Jake the Flake, the old school Jake the Flake. You know what I'm saying? So when it come down to it, he comes out and do an interview basically endorsing Kamala Harris, bashing former President Trump. And he's not being honest with the people and telling them why he's doing it, which is the feds is on him. You know, he said it himself, the feds is on him in his own music, and everybody know the feds is on Cliff Mack, and this was somebody he directly was rocking with and working with, who he exploited for money, flooded him, gassed him up, did the whole nine, helped him get in the war, didn't check him. You know, he started calling himself the King of Flint and in interviews. And he like, oh, that's the black help. He ain't say nothing. He even said, I ain't saying nothing. So he the type of nigga sit back, let war go down, long as he getting his bag. He don't really care. You know what I'm saying? So he's selfish. You know what I'm saying? He got a selfish ambition and a selfish agenda on why he's endorsing Kamala Harris, and he's not telling nobody that. He's not telling the people he's doing it because the feds is on him, the FBI. You know what I'm saying? He got an indictment that's pending against him. He already noticed, so he hoping to gain some type of leniency and some type of favor from the whole political dynamic and what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And you know, this ain't the first time. You know, we can get into more. I'm ready for the questions, however you want to bring it, bro.
So what you mean they tried to censor you?
So yeah, so basically, you know, I got with the interview with 810 News Media Group, and I know them over there. You know what I'm saying? You know, the young lady over there that helps host the show, Juan Twist, and you know, a lot of other people. And I already know that their political leanings is biased and they're liberal and progressive, so they're not gonna really give a real non-biased political rebuttal to what Jake said. So when I listened to it, I gave him my pure undivided attention. I ain't trying to throw no shade. I'm gonna give the truth, and I'm gonna give the good, bad, and the ugly and everything. And so I listened to everything he was saying, bro, and I was just, it was garbage. It was cap. I knew everything this man was saying in his interview about Trump was not honest. And then he was really pimping the game. He using politics for his own self-benefit, which ain't dumb. It's a smart decision to do, but it's a selfish decision. And you know, one thing I've dedicated myself to do at Urban Zion University, Zion U, that I'm the CEO of, a nonprofit street organization, is to help people have the truth in Flint. And I've lobbied, been an activist in Flint for years, bro, going all the way back to Eric Mays. I was one of the critical components to helping Eric Mays become a councilman, bro. Nobody would touch Eric Mays back in the day. We can get into all of this. But basically, so eventually, James, you know, again, somebody I thought I was got it out the mud with from back in the day. He went to Mott. Mott was promoting him. I was, you know, want to, you know, highlight that. You know, if my brother doing good, he got some accolades. You know, I'm a positive person, bro. I support everybody. I'm not a hater at all. You know what I'm saying? But what showed me is that it was some haterism from over there and intimidation. So he had been trying to interview me for the longest. He reached out to me, added me on Facebook. I had never accepted it. So eventually, once I heard this and started going at Jake and started letting it be known publicly that, hey, what Jake is doing is fake, and it's time we had that discussion, and I'm finna expose dude on what he doing politically. So he reached out to me, you know, James Mayfield, out one of the partners, or I guess one of the founders. I didn't even know he had partners, because the way he broke it down to me is, you know, that was his organization. That was his thing. That was his podcast. But soon as I'm getting ready to hit him up and he wanted to do my interview, I'm sharing with him my conflict with Jake. I'm sharing with him some of the details that me and Jake have had, some of the conflicts even before these interviews, where Jake then mentioned me in his music and said certain things about me, you know what I'm saying? That's throwing shade, essentially, you know what I'm saying? But he's doing it for political sake. He's with the gatekeepers in Flint. So he don't want people to have an independent mind frame, an independent thinking. So I'm sharing this with James Mayfield. And now James had no intention on interviewing Jake the Flake. He had no intentions on getting at this dude. He had never mentioned this. It was never done. He could have already interviewed him. But as soon as I let this man know, you know, about my conflict with this man, he took it upon himself to really show his feminine tendencies and run back to Jake. He was supposed to say, hey, you know, this guy want to do an interview. Hey, I told him you got a couple options. You can bring Jake on. You can have him call in, or we could do a show together, because I'm going to stand on what I stand on and take full responsibility for what I say about Jacob Fella. You know what I'm saying? And so he was supposed to get back with him, get back with his partners, because he's telling me, oh, my partner, whoever this guy, I don't know if it's Grundy, whoever his other partner is, he telling me, this guy don't want you to talk about Jake. You know what I'm saying? They don't want you to talk about Jake. They don't want you to bring up, they don't want you to mention Jake. You can't say that the FBI on him. You can't say that the feds is on him. Like, they don't want the truth to be known. They don't want the people to know that he compromised politically, even though I'm on the phone with Dr. Ken Ivory, you know what I'm saying, a real world renowned, other pimps that I know, and other P's that I know, other players that I know, and I'm letting them know that what dude is doing ain't pimping at all. You know, it ain't pimping in politics, and it's not right what he doing. And so he gets wind of that, supposed to get back with me. Next thing I know, an interview drop, and that's that. We here now. You feel what I'm saying? Which really is a blessing in disguise, because your platform far bigger than Out the Mud. You feel what I'm saying? And they was trying to censor me. What you censoring me? What type of Flint niggas censor niggas? You know what I'm saying? We don't censor niggas in Flint, especially if you speaking truth and you are activist. How you gonna censor an activist? So it was total disrespect, in my personal opinion. You know, I called his business partner, I called him a bitch. You know what I'm saying? I laid it in on him. You know what I'm saying? And that's not even my character. But I have to let it know, like, nigga, y'all on some bitch shit. Real talk. You know, how you gonna try to censor an activist, somebody you know been putting it down in the community, helping people out for years, decades. I helped start the political mecca in Flint way back in the day, bro. Way back to 2011. You know what I'm saying? Before it was anybody that's out here, most of the names you hear, you know what I'm saying, they'll tell you, you know, who was really out there stumping for real, going all the way back to Durrell Buchanan.
Well, hey, shout out to out the mud ink, my man Grundy, George Grundy. That's my man, 50 grand. I ain't never had no problem with George. He been a stand up guy. You know what I mean? I don't know what problems politically y'all had or whatever. They was gonna censor you or whatever, but I don't censor people on Play After Dark. You know what I'm saying? It's just simple. We ain't talking about no fagging or no goddamn no snitching. Other than that, it's all everything goes on here, But like I said, shout out again to my man George Grundy. So, but I don't
Hey,
know, I
look, and
don't know,
I'm
I
gonna
don't
keep
know the,
it with
I
you,
don't
bro. I'm
know
gonna
the,
keep,
the significance of what went on with you guys. I don't know. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
and I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, bro. Real spill. Like I don't even know, dude. So I can't even say that that's really what happened. I'm just telling you that's what James telling me. He hide behind his business partner when it's supposed to be a guy that I know that we didn't got it out the mud together. We didn't really rock with each other. And then you backdoor me for an interview with somebody that you ain't even kicking it with, that ain't even cool with. You know what I'm saying? So really, Jake just pimped that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Jake a fella pimp out the mud, bro, and took advantage of the situation. And I'm here to set the record straight. You know what I'm saying? He's campaigning for Kamala Harris, supposedly gangster, world-renowned pimp. You know what I'm saying? Is campaigning solely off of the fact that he got the feds on him, period. And he's compromised. And more importantly, he's not politically savvy. See, just because you didn't hustle and you didn't did this and flip that, nigga, that don't mean that you politically savvy and you got a high political IQ. That don't mean you smart. That don't mean you understand politics, my baby. They don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? I went to school at Oakland University, bro. Look me up. You know what I'm saying? For public administration, nonprofit management, bro. And I was nominated most influential in my class. And it was people that work for judges, nonprofit think tank leaders, and everything up in there. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't even, I'm a very professional guy, honestly, not disrespectful at all. But this was the first time that somebody really tried to and really maybe having their own envy and jealousy the whole time, chose the backdoor situation instead of letting it open. I was doing him a favor by even bringing the whole dynamics to Out the Mud, because I got my own platform, got more. I'm almost 1 million viewers on my platform through all my platform on YouTube. And bro, I didn't had hundreds of thousands of views on Facebook. So, my brand and my platform alone got more numbers than Out the Mud. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate the whole dynamics. Like I said, it's just how God worked. Because look at it now. You know what I'm saying? Me and Flint After the Dark podcast linked, and I've been heard of y'all. You know what I'm saying? I've been heard of y'all, been looked at y'all stuff, admired y'all stuff, never really knew exactly who you was. But like solid dudes, I reached out, bam, we locked in, and here we are. You feel what I'm saying? But it's a whole lot more to the story when it come to Jake. You know what I'm saying? And just the gatekeepers and the political climate in Flint. Why is it people don't want to have political diversity? I'm for political thought. Diversity in political thought. Like Kanye West said, we ain't all got to be Democrats. 90% of black people vote Democratic, and guess what? They take us for granted. So why are we still doing that? You know what I'm saying? And then this man is saying stuff about Trump, calling people names, name calling. It ain't presidential. This is a guy, Jacob fella, who put up an actual mural, an actual meme and a mural pissing in Donald Trump's mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the type of disrespect and the type of derogatory language is put off at Trump, but people don't want to say both sides of it. You feel what I'm saying?
So, what's your stand with Trump, man? Politically, what's how you stand with Trump, man?
Well, like I said, first of all, I feel like this. I'm for black independence. So, the Republican Party historically is our party because it's the party of the Emancipation Proclamation. It's about freedom. The whole party was built on black struggle. You understand what I'm saying? Now, historically, that's fact. Now today, Trump is probably the closest thing to Abraham Lincoln we've had of someone who wants to have economic zones in our communities, a form of economic reparations. You know what I'm saying? Not full, but a form of it. It's more than what she's already came out on record, said Kamala Harris, saying she not doing nothing for black people or one group of people. Even though, like I pointed out against Jake and I combated him, Well, the Asians, the first day they got in, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris signed legislation for the Asians. So it's always prioritizing the immigrant, whether legal or illegal, over African American population and populace, and that's wrong. And our young people, black people, got to stand up. But then you got people like Jake, for his own personal selfish gain, is trying to tell people to only vote Democrat and Republican, only vote Democrat for his own personal gain, because he really a gatekeeper. He a failed gatekeeper out of Flint. You know what I'm saying? And it's not right, bro. But Trump, I'm for Trump. And I even look, I'm so real with it. I even said that if he would have went further with the immunity on police, I wouldn't vote for him. So in reality, he's the closest person that's going to do the most for us. But at the same time, we got to always be put black empowerment, political responsibility. We got to understand policies economically, like free market enterprise. We got to stop depending on the government and have going to the government for everything. Grants ain't even really economic, real, true economic, small business, prosperity and economic growth. So, that's really what I'm on. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where I'm at when it comes to Trump. You know what I'm saying? And I helped get him elected in 2016. As the ethnic vice chair, we turned Michigan red and, turned the whole state red. We made history, and hopefully history can be made tomorrow, but whoever win, I accept whoever win. You feel me?
Yeah, can you elaborate about the Abraham Lincoln comment you made? You said he the closest thing. What you mean by
Yeah,
that?
so real fact, you got to research this up. Black people really been getting a sour hand ever since Reconstruction. That's back when black people helped win the Civil War. Well, Abraham Lincoln, some of his generals gained out, I'm paraphrasing, they came and talked to our black leaders and they said, well, what do y'all want for helping us win the war? They said, we want land, because land was agricultural. That's like our own economics, our own everything. And so they like, bet you can get that. Long story short, they end up murdering Abraham Lincoln. And then we end up getting put back with the Southern Dixiecrats. And then you had a person, which I am, radical Republicans. Look this up, radical Republicans, which they advocated solely for African Americans and making sure primarily we got an economic hand up in America to get our own land, to get our own economic freedoms. And they said if we did not get our own economic freedoms from Reconstruction, that we will remain in slavery economically, even if we were free. So I don't know about you, but if you don't have a livelihood, are you really free? So we have been suffering from slavery and economic financial slavery for a long, long time. This is what sharecropping was about. This is what convict leasing was about. This is what redlining and all of that is about in the inner city. Chicago redline right now. What is that? When you basically block off a section and stop them from getting economic investments like anyone else and connect them with the rest of the hub of economic opportunities. That creates ghettos. And Abraham Lincoln was one of the people who was all for our freedom. He was so real about it. He said if you was to offend or harm or try to capture an African American, he had put an actual decree, this is in writing, that you could shoot to kill anybody who tried to harm African Americans and try to put them back into slavery. Facts. So Trump is somebody that, although he has a variety of people supporting him, some people I don't agree with the people that support him, but overall his policies is going to be best for us. You look at economics right now, there was no inflation under Trump. Back in 2016 and 2020, man, I got gas literally under $1, bro. 94 cents. I got the screenshots, and every first time in my life, we had no problem. Economics is so bad right now, bro. The middle class, the inner city can't take it, bro. We can't take it economically, bro. Even if you well off, you suffering, you going through something. There was no world wars. You know what I'm saying? It's just Trump is really a better president to have for African Americans.
So, Kamala Harris, right? I want to touch on her for a minute. So, I've been hearing that she's not even black. Is that how you heard anything about that?
Bro, Janet Jackson says she ain't black. I'm rolling with the Queen of Soul. You dig? Janet Jackson says she ain't black. So if Janet Jackson says she ain't black, she ain't black. I'm going to keep it to you real, like a real ninja. I ain't going to fake it like Jake the Fake and tell you to vote for somebody from my own political and personal gain. Janet Jackson says she ain't black. She was Indian. The only time she really got acquainted with black people was when she got with the mayor of San Francisco back in the day, the Willie guy. who she worked with. He was black, but they really progressives, bro. Like they different. They're a different breed with their policies. And African Americans, we're not. Oh, well, y'all done brought my auntie on here. Look, she on here. All right, auntie. Look. So look, more importantly, we gotta get educated about the policies, bro, economically. You feel what I'm saying? We gotta get educated on the policies, because if black people are gonna be paid, if we gonna get our reparations, if we gonna get our generational wealth, we gotta know about economics, we gotta know about finance, we gotta know about money management. You know what I'm saying? We gotta know about how these policies affect us. And you gotta be a capitalist and understand to get that money. America is a capitalist society. Anybody telling you go to the government, have government dependency, bro, that ain't enough. You feel what I'm saying? And that's exactly what Kamala is about. She's a big government. Look at her policy for inflation, bro. She said she gonna cap prices. First of all, do you know what that'll be for capping prices? That's like telling Target you can sell your grapes at $10, but Walmart can't sell theirs at only a certain price. Eventually, what's gonna happen? It's gonna drive all that stuff up. It's gonna drive inflation up, and things are gonna get scarce because people are not gonna order this stuff, and then it's gonna drive inflation even higher. So you want to have a free market. Free market enterprise is the only thing that's gonna lower inflation by creating an abundance of energy. So we got to have a strong energy policy. All of these things is what we got to have that Kamala Harris is not gonna go for, bro.
So basically, you don't agree with nothing politically with Kamala Harris?
Bro,
Nothing.
she's Barack Obama 2.0, bro. I never voted for Barack. Barack ain't from what black man you know named Barack Obama, bro? What man you know named Barack Obama from the hood? He not from us. Now I love Michelle. I love Michelle. That's my baby. And I disagree with her statements that she's saying in favor of her husband policies about, she went to the DNC and said that my grandparents never aspired to be rich and that they were skeptical of people who felt like they needed more. Well, what do you mean? That's what, like, we supposed to be able to have enough and have more than enough and be well off. They want to control us and keep us on a plantation. So you got to have puppets. Like a lot of my political family, the Charles Winfreys and things like that in Flint, they all gatekeepers, man. You know what I'm saying? I hate to say it, but that's one issue that all of them got with me, because I don't kiss the ring. And I stand up for truth, and I'm outspoken. So they don't, you know what I'm saying? And they get people like Jacob Fella, and even at one point ID bootleg, and they will have them try to get other people to do it in a different way. But I will say, in defense of bootleg, he recently came out and gave in favor of Trump. Yeah, I think he said what's good for the goose is good for the gander when it came to him getting elected based on a lot of legal issues he didn't had and a lot of other problems. So what I'm saying, just keep that in mind. I think even Ira Dorsey has evolved politically. Jacob Fell is the only one trying to keep people on a Democrat plantation, bro, and it ain't pimping at all, bro. It ain't pimpish at all.
So you said leg rolling with Trump or what? Or
I just
with
said he
Harris?
said favorable things about him getting elected due to his legal issues, how that would make black people in a better favorable position. You think if a man that's had 34 convictions is a felon and gets become the president, we got to do something about these criminal justice laws. And I helped champion the second chance law, get the box off of the applications. I did a lot of criminal justice reform in those areas, bro. So, what I'm saying, that's really, what I'm saying, where I'm at with that. You know what I'm saying? Trump is just going to be a better president for African Americans, period. When you look at the last presidency he had, it's proving what he was. You know what I'm saying? Black people had money. We was getting money, employed. Unemployment was at its lowest. Everybody starting businesses. And then even how they handled COVID. You know how many black people went to the hospitals and didn't come out? These people didn't let people go to funerals. They didn't let people stay with their loved ones when they could have targeted that and not shut the whole economy down and targeted to the people who needed it the most. You know what I'm saying? And they could have things could have been done differently, bro. But they basically they did a lot of these things. And when you look back at it now, people were fired, nurses, all type of other people were fired from their jobs if they didn't take a particular medical option. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not right, bro. That's government overreach, government intervention. That's not cool, bro.
Right. So, give me two reasons why we shouldn't vote for Kamala, and give me two reasons why we should vote for why we should vote for Trump.
Number one reason you should not vote for Kamala Harris. She gonna keep you dependent on government. Think about it. You want to keep being dependent on a system that ain't for you, wasn't created for you? Or you want somebody that's going to help you learn how to start your own business, how to have you go to school and be able to start your own stuff, be free market enterprise, be a capitalist, learn about stocks, bonds, cryptocurrency. You know what I'm saying? It's the culture of money, baby. You talk about getting to the bag. We got to learn how to get to the bag. If you own a government plantation, you own welfare consistently, generationally. And I brought this out in my interview. You know, it's not that I'm all against everything in the government. I'm fair using things for stepping stone. I've been in, Flint public housing. I know what it's like to stay off Court Street in a high rise. I know what it's like when I was transitioning to school. But I can also tell you, I know what it's like to buy a crib in the burbs. I know what it's like to buy a piece of property in the suburbs. I know what that's about too. You know what I'm saying? And it's a transition. Some people in our community, bro, has been stuck on welfare and generational welfare, bro, for generations. And that's wrong, bro. They never learn how to work and have a career. I've been promoted several times in corporate America. And I'll tell you that I'm more of an entrepreneur. I know your gifts, your callings that God give you is more importantly than anything else. But government dependency is number one. You don't want people who are going to keep you dependent on the government. Number two, she's not qualified. Like, and when I say she ain't qualified, bro, for what we dealing with right now, we got almost 3 world wars going on. Not only that, she's already committed to saying she's not going to do nothing for black people, and she's not going to do nothing for one group of people. I can show you the clips, bro. I can send it to you, all the receipts. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that's already saying she's not for us, but she's using us, she's basically being a culture vulture and trying to assimilate to us to gain our vote. But in reality, she's not really with us. She's an elitist, you know what I'm saying? And just how they use the political system against people. They do that to Trump. You know they'll do it to us. We don't believe in what their policies are. Okay, get them audited by the IRS. Send the DA on them. Let's find out something. This is what they're beginning to do, bro. You know what I'm saying? And we got to be careful. We got to be about the Constitution, of this land, and make sure we have people that are in office that's for the Constitution. The second thing, bro, I'm gonna tell you is for Trump, I guess the main thing for Trump is economics. He's gonna be a better economic person for you all across the board, period. Economics, he already got a proven history for 4 years. He already got that, you know what I'm saying? He's going to directly target, the African-American community. Let me give you a couple examples. $14-15 million was brung into the Flint Housing Commission through HUD directly to Karen Weaver, former Mayor Karen Weaver. You know who brung that in? Who brung that in was Dr. Ben Carson. And I just talked to Dr. Ben Carson in person in Novi when we were at the Kwame Kilpatrick and Dr. Ben Carson event. And guess what? He remembered that. He knows about that. So we got black people in office that's trying to redevelop, and revitalize the inner city. Trump is going to be behind that. The second thing is about freedom, bro. Freedom. He's going to make sure bad government, government where you're getting your house raided by the FBI, audited by the IRS. He's going to make sure that bad government is limited. You feel what I'm saying? He's going to make sure that the Constitution and you being able to have freedom of speech, you know what I'm saying? Under Kamala, bro, don't you know it's been proven? She said, Zuckerberg came out in Congress. He already put this under oath, said Kamala Harris and Biden pressured Facebook to censor people, bro. So they couldn't talk about certain things. Do you understand, bro? I had almost 14 years or a decade worth of material wiped off of Facebook. I was censored because of people like her. So you think your podcast safe under Kamala? If you want to criticize the government, criticize tyranny, no, you ain't safe, bro. They'll want to censor. They'll have YouTube censor your podcast, bro. Real spill.
If what? If you say something negative about Kamala,
If you say certain bad things and you against them, they all about censorship, bro. They're not for freedom of speech, Second Amendment, the right to carry legal and bear arms. You feel what I'm saying? You got to understand what we need the Constitution, bro. We fought and died for it in this country. You know what I'm saying? And then one other thing, and about Republicans, because Jacob fella was constantly saying that, you know what I'm saying, Republicans ain't never did this and they did that. Well, guess what? Rick Snyder, despite of how people feel about him, guess what? His legal team helped prove that the one person indictment is unconstitutional. Who else does that help? Because there's only two people been indicted under that rule. Rick Snyder and Cliff Mack from Flint, which is one of his homeboys. So you tell me how a Republican ain't do nothing to help black people when the legal team, the Republican legal team right now is helping to make sure that indictment don't stick. Now he got other legal problems, you know what I'm saying, that they way bigger than the indictment. But at the end of the day, that's just one local fact that people don't even know and they ain't even paying attention to. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. So Rick Schneider, you said the one man
Indictment rule.
indictment, right? So can you elaborate off that? I remember that. Rick
Yeah, so
Schneider
there's a
still a piece
one
of
man
shit though.
indictment rule that
Rick Schneider a piece of shit.
our
Go ahead.
AG Dana Nissel and her team at that time came up with, which they basically got one person to indict Rick Snyder, okay, for the Flint water situation. And then you had, and I don't even know if all the charges, you know what I'm saying? I don't even know if it was directly for that or if it was any type of mismanagement or neglect of office or something like that. Is what I think it was for. And then you had Cliff Mack, who got indicted by the one person indictment rule. So these are two known people in Michigan that got indicted under this. And Rick Snyder's legal team, a Republican governor, got that to where it's unconstitutional. They fought it and they proved that it's unconstitutional. So I'm just saying that directly helped Cliff Mack. Now, Cliff Mack got other issues going on. You feel what I'm saying? And we can talk in detail because you got to know what's going on with Cliff. He played a critical part in why Jacob fella is doing what he's doing. And, I got a cousin, bro, Tez, who doing 30 years because of these guys. He was the one out here catching bodies for Cliff. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of what he doing is tied up in the fact that Jake is oversaucing him and gassing him up, misleading the young man, and exploiting him. You know what I'm saying? He really pimping Cliff. And that's really what you look at it now. How is it this nigga indicted and he in prison and Jake out here skating around, bro? Come on, man. Y'all got to make it make sense, man. You can't just tell me anything.
Yeah. I don't want to just stick to the politics, brother. So what you think about Kamala policy on the border?
I mean, you ever have anybody that died because of fentanyl? You understand that it was the cartel that funneled it over here. Not all of them, because I know cartel members that ain't they more conservative, but they not the main people or the largest cartels. But most of them got in bed with China, who sent the raw ingredients for fentanyl and a lot of the synthetic drugs, and then they using the cartel to strengthen the cartel membership, to strengthen. That's what illegal immigration is doing. Illegal immigration is hurting our country. It take away from our people, from number one, legal Americans. It takes away from legal immigrants, and then it takes away flat out from the black community, because we know all the illegal aliens, where they coming at? The inner city. That's where they coming to. So right now you got people in Chicago who is fighting off the Venezuelan gangs, bro. I've been on the south side of Chicago, do work over there. You know what I'm saying? Been to the King Von Mural, everything. And look, they're fighting these other people, bro, these illegal aliens, and they're giving them money, putting them in hotels, doing for them. You know what I'm saying? And then the only black mayor, which is Eric Adams out of New York, NYC, come out and tell the Democrats, I ain't with y'all for doing this, and you're going to destroy the city for letting this illegal immigration keep going on. And what things you see him go through, he gets indicted. So they targeting black people, bro. Any black person that stand up and speak out, like Kwame Kilpatrick said, my guy, who was pardoned by Trump, another Republican president who let out pardon so many black men under criminal justice. He pardoned Kwame Kilpatrick, the former mayor, and I'll get him to do an interview with you, bro. I can do that. Just because you showed me love, I can get you another interview. I can get you one with Kwame. But basically, Kwame came out and said, where are the other strong men? the Coleman Youngs, you know what I'm saying? He talked about all the different strong black men. He said, where are they post-Obama? He said, y'all eliminated all of them. Either you put them in indictments if they don't toe the line, and you know what I'm saying, you go after them, you push them out essentially, bro. So, you know what I'm saying, that's what's going on right now with illegal immigration. It's harming the inner city. It's put here to replace us. You feel what I'm saying? Because after a while, bro, if you ain't looked around, go look in your inner city, any real inner city that's moving and shaking, you're gonna see that it's being basically we're being replaced, bro. You see majority of every other body business but ours. You don't see none of our people prospering like we should. And a lot of it has a lot to do with they take the housing, they take the business stuff, and it is what it is, bro. If we don't pay attention and fight for what's ours, then they gonna come take it, bro.
So what's your take on that Project 2025, man? That Trump said he never endorsed.
I'm not for it. And that's something else that Jacob fella put out there that was false. Now, this man that came out and didn't endorse it, and I know a little bit about think tanks. That was a right-wing conservative think tank called the Heritage Fund. They basically wrote out some legislations, and then, you know, they had some recommendations for if he ever got in office, what they would recommend. But every lobbying organization have their own policies or have their own recommendations. That don't mean he gonna take them, and he didn't have nothing to do with it being drafted. So Jacob fella coming online, lying, saying all of this stuff, bro, and not telling the truth about that. That's just, man, how you a pimp? How you a world renowned pimp and you lying, bro? Like, that's just, that ain't real. You know what I'm saying? That's not real at all, bro. The man lying on Trump directly. And I mean, calling him out. He's not even involved in Project 25. This is something that they're using to discredit Trump. Even saying that he gonna have a military on the American citizens, bro. Just ridiculous stuff, bro. Just ridiculous stuff, bro. And people are willing to tell our people this because they want to influence our people and continue to control them on a Democratic plantation. They don't want them free, brother. They don't want them free and being an independent minded person, bro.
Right. What's your stand when they say Trump a racist, man? You know what I mean?
Well, first of all, look at it.
When
I'm
Biden is a documented racist, you know what I mean?
facts,
You know what
facts.
I'm saying?
Biden is a true Dixiecrat, bro. He's a true Dixiecrat. Okay, let's call it what it is. This man didn't want black and white people to even be together. He's a true segregationalist. All right. And this is a person who Kamala worked with and voted to pass his legislation. So she had a direct part to play in everything he did. This is why they signed legislation for the Asians their first day. They didn't do nothing for blacks. They take us for granted. And you got people like Jake who will come on here and tell people, oh, well, you know, this is who you got to vote for. And this is why, because he's a racist. He did this and he did that. First of all, it was his father that got the lawsuit, bro, about any type of housing discrimination. And that was already settled through the court and everything else. But everybody from Russell Simmons, everybody said he opened up the golf courses and the country clubs all to blacks and Jews in Florida. He opened it up, period. He was always with Russell Simmons. They all partied together, from P. Diddy and everything else. You know what I'm saying? All of them did. That's just to be 100 with you. So he stayed around us. He's from us, bro. You know what I'm saying? Even though he is who he is, and he come from where he come from, but he don't come from a racist. His people immigrated, I think, from Scotland, bro. Like they not even from, you know what I'm saying? So they don't come from a legacy like Kamala, who her people actually own slaves. You feel what I'm saying? So it's the underlay for the overplay, like my homeboy Rochelle from the Fifth used to say. It's the underlay for the overplay. They telling you this stuff because really it's a whole nother agenda, which they want you ignorant. They don't want you independently in thought, and they're gonna lie to you about certain details, and you got to be aware. So Trump is not a racist, bro. He's not a racist at all. He don't even come from that background.
What you think about when they say Trump want to become a dictator, man? That ridiculous shit like that, man.
Man, what do you think about when they call any strong man toxic? Brother, any strong black man, white man, if you a man, period, you under attack right now in society, bro. And he a strong leader. So they don't want to have a strong person in office that's going to lay down law, that's going to, you know, graciously and with a level hand dish out policy. You know, they want to talk about this and that. We ain't never seen a real dictator. And let me just explain something to you. The people who really dictate in government, it ain't the black people. It ain't the black vote. Because if it was, our communities would be way better. Let's worry about who dictating the black people. Let's worry about who dictating our communities. Because guess what? The Chaldeans all working together. The Arabs all working together right now. All the mayors from Dearborn Heights, they working. You got Dearborn on Kamala's side. They got people on both sides of the political, and they all working together, bro. And they all moving their people and their stuff along, and they getting in the political system while we're sitting back still waiting for a handout. Bro, we got to think wise and we got to wisen up, bro.
What's your thoughts on Israel over there, man?
I mean, I'm pro-Israel, bro. I'm a true Zionist, bro. 100% pro-Israel. But one thing I can say, black people need to understand what our history is with Jews. That's what we need to do. How about Martin Luther King as a Zionist? How about Martin Luther King walk hand in hand, you know, through Alabama and all the different Montgomery marches with other Jews holding the Torah? You feel me? All the religious doctrines and how religious black people believe in the Bible, grandma having a Bible on the table, that's all Jewish. The whole Bible is Jewish. You know, I'm just telling you real spiel. I ain't anti-Semitic, and we got to stand against anti-Semitism and racism. You know what I'm saying? And some of the hardest gangsters was Jews. Look up the Purple Gang from Detroit. Real gangsters. You know what I'm saying? Prohibition. Real gangsters was with Al Capone. Real gangsters, Jewish.
So,
Listen, bro, it's a
right.
whole bunch. Better look up some of the real gangsters, man. That's Jewish, bro. Like, for real.
So, what's your thoughts on Kamala messing up California, throwing all the black men in jail out there with
But
that
but
three
let me
strike?
just add something too, because sometimes people who don't know my heart and they don't know where I come from, they can easily spill certain things and say certain things about me or whatever. I love Arab people, bro. I love Arab people. In fact, I have Arab people that's cool, that's pro-Israel. I learned from scholars from the UAE who love Israel, and they'll tell you from a biblical basis the truth about Israel, and they'll stand with Israel. The Abraham Accords, look that up. Do your homework on that. Was all nothing but Arabs. You feel me? Who all supported and want to work together for peace amongst Arab and Jew. We should be about peace. And I don't like to see nobody killed. I don't like to see babies exploded. I don't like to see all that stuff. But you know, at the same time, we can't be attacking countries and then wondering why certain things are happening when we know what we did. Israel was absolutely innocently targeted, not the military alone, but innocent civilians was targeted on October 7th, bro. Imagine right now if Flint, some people came into Flint and just flat out murdered 1,500, 1,300 people, bro. Civilian people. I think we all know how we feel about that. And I'm not saying people got, you know, just a blank check to do whatever, but I'm saying they do have a blank check to defend themselves. And at the end of the day, you got to free Gaza from Hamas, and that's what they doing. That's what Israel is doing. They cleaning up the terrorists, they getting the bad people out the way so the real Arabs can prosper in that region, bro. And that's what we should be about, peace. And that's what we should be about, peace among Jew and Arab, period. You know what I'm saying? And again, man, listen, bro, I could tell you some real stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Like of a woman, Jessica Mogdad. You feel me? I'm giving you a real exclusive, bro. I'm telling you a lot of stuff that most people ain't even up on. Who was somebody very near and dear to me that was murdered, bro, in Warren. Her name was Jessica Mogdad. Look her up. JESSICA MOKDAD. Jessica Mogdad. That's all I'm gonna say. Look her up, bro. That was my baby. You know what I'm saying? And we was cool, like very close. You know what I'm saying? And I got other people from Israel who I deal with. I got Arabs. When I go to Israel, bro, I've been there multiple times. I kick it with the Arabs. I'm there with them. I'm trying to learn from the Arab Israelis. You feel what I'm saying? So I just want to labor on that because sometimes people don't hear both sides, bro. I want peace, but you know, it is what it is, bro. You know, I'm not gonna compromise on my beliefs. You feel what I'm saying?
Absolutely, man. Let me see. So, you up on that Agenda 47?
What is it?
Agenda 47 that Trump
What is
actually
that?
talked about. It's what Trump actually he said he didn't endorse the 2025, but it's the agenda 40 Agenda
Oh, you talking about
47.
Agenda 47?
Yeah, Agenda 47. Yeah, yep. Agenda 47. Yep.
Yeah, I mean that's basically his plans, his economic plans, and most people remember, if you got any type, you know what I'm saying, remembrance of what he was like before, and I think he has to take some stronger steps to help us and help the people, and really save the country and do what he can and make the country better. But at the end of the day, man, I'm very positive, bro. Very positive about a Trump presidency, bro. I can't understate that, bro.
Okay, cool. So you got any closing statements? We coming up on the hour.
Yeah, I just I
You got
appreciate
get it
I
in.
appreciate
Whatever you want to say. We can wrap it up.
yeah, I appreciate Flint After Dark podcast, bro. You took, you know what I'm saying? You kept it all the way 100 with me. A real Flintstone. You did what a real Flintstone would do. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, bro, we got to stand for truth. You know what I'm saying? We got to stand for truth. You got to stand for freedom of speech. We got to stand for freedom of speech. We can't be, letting, censorship, because that's all a part of how they want us to do things. You know what I'm saying? It's to silence us. We can't speak truth to power. You know what I'm saying? We got to stand for that. On top of that, you know what I'm saying? I want to give a shout out to Dimitri and Cedric Mordecai. They both the twins. They both on my board of Urban Zion University, Zion U. You know what I'm saying? And then I challenge Jake the Flake. I challenge Out the Mud. Open that gate back up and let's do the interview for real, and let's hash it out as respectable men. You know what I'm saying? No ducking your tail, no ducking smoke, no trying to censor nobody. Let me in the door so I can speak truth to power and say what the people need to hear and tell the truth about things. You know what I'm saying? So we can have some political and diversity of thought, you know what I'm saying, within this context, bro. You know what I'm saying? Whether you are for one or the other, our community should be able to be on both sides and should be able to debate both sides of the argument instead of always being on one side, because we've been taken for granted for so long. And shout out to Leon Elamin. I think they're trying to do that boy in. It's sad, you know. The people who I see trying to tarnish his name, trying to say bad things about him. That's false. This man has worked 20 years in the city. We go back 20 years, man. That's my guy, right? And I know he worked hard. And they trying to tarnish him for political purposes. You know what I'm saying? They trying to tarnish him and make him seem like something he's not. And it's completely wrong. It's fabricated. It's smear tactics in politics. People got to understand, when you got a contested race and people start having smear tactics put at you, they're doing it to discredit you and tear you down so that you don't vote. But the person who I think can revitalize the city is going to be Leon Elamin, bro, and going to do it for the people. Of the people, it's going to be Leon. I don't think that other candidate, even though she's more of my candidate, I had to be all the way real with Leon. I didn't endorse Leon. But I think he shouldn't lose support based on this. And Eric Mays wouldn't support that, bro. I was one of the very critical people to help Eric Mays become the first ward councilman before. Nobody would touch them, bro. Nobody would touch Eric Mays. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you want to ask questions about that, but nobody would, bro. And I entrusted him as a Republican. I think I tagged you in the video, the real. It's got thousands of views, where I'm standing with his flyer. I was the one pumping him, bro. I was the one believed in him, you know what I'm saying, when nobody else did. And he got in there. And they didn't want him really working with Republicans. So then they tried to pull him in after years of stomping on him, bro, years of disrespecting him, years of not giving him his accolades. Oh, one more thing. We was with Don Williamson. Eric Mays and Darwin Giles was with Don Williamson. He was Flint's Donald Trump before Donald Trump. You feel what I'm saying? Don Williamson, rest in peace, man. He tried to do the best for the city. He tried to, and our own black bourgeoisie and gatekeepers in Flint shut that down, bro, which hurt the city. And we've been hurting ever since, man. You know?
Yeah, that's my guy, man. Eric Mays, man. I just did a mural too, man. It
Yeah,
says
I gotta come
67.
down there. That's what's up.
Okay, right. Yeah, it says six is okay. It's 6715 North Saginaw Street, right in the hood, right across from E May's favorite cleaners. You know what I
Yeah, I
mean? It's
gotta
a
come
big.
down there and I'm gonna probably come down there and do a photo shoot or something with it. But yeah, see, that was my guy one-on-one. When he got in trouble, bro, I don't know if you know, but it's a guy named Bobby. Everybody know Black Bobby in Flint. He got out of prison, had a real real gangster, real effective Jewish appeals attorney. He got him out. You know what I'm saying? A prison. You know, he got caught up in that whole Pearson Hood war gang back in the day. And Bobby got him out. Bobby attorney, you know, got him out. Jewish attorney. And when Eric Mays got in that little trouble, whatever, when they was trying to railroad him, I said if he was convicted, I already knew the appeal attorney to come down and help Eric Mays out. So before you knew it, he got probation. You know what I'm saying? They ain't even convict him like and lock him up. You know what I'm saying? He got convicted, but they ain't put him in jail. Because if he was gonna go to jail, I was gonna come down here and actually get a real good appellate attorney to help support him, bro. Real talk.
Right. So yeah, long live Eric Mays, man. Hey man, I appreciate you coming on here, man. You know, we're gonna keep it politically like I told you, and tomorrow it's election eve. Tomorrow is election day. I ain't gonna tell y'all who to go vote for, but I need y'all to get out here and vote, man.
Absolutely, we gotta do it. You did. Urban Zion University, Zion U. Appreciate you. Flint love all day, baby.
We out this bitch, man. Peace.
All right.
You're now rocking with Terrence Sale on Flint's #1 online podcast, Flint After Dark. We speak for the streets.
It's your boy, Terrence Sales, a.k.a. Mr. Speak for the Streets, a.k.a. Big T, and you locked in to the #1 podcast in Flint, Michigan, Flint After Dark. We speak for the streets.
I'm from Flint, FLINT. Fight like it's no tomorrow, motherfucker.
Yeah. Thinking to myself like, what the fuck is going on? Asking God for help like, what the fuck I'm doing wrong? He ain't giving me no answers, I figured it out myself. Got tired of asking questions, I'm tired of looking for help. Man, I can't win for losing, I'm steady taking these losses. Had to bury greed and chinks, same week, 2 different coffins. Man, that shit'll traumatize you when it ain't trying to. Everybody shedding tears, you trying not to cry too. They say they feel my pain, but they don't know how much I'm hurting. Mama told me pray, it usually help, but it ain't working. This the numbness.